Hey everyone, welcome to our live. As you can see, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today, but I promise next week we'll be on YouTube. Things will be rolling smooth. But regardless, guys, we're going to kick this off. Really just trying to bring everybody a little bit more details of what's going on here at the Grounded Man, as well as touching a little bit more on our financial health month, which is one of our six pillars here at the Grounded Man and really learning a little bit more about that and what we have to offer for each and every one of you. So I guess we'll start off with introductions. My name is Vlad. I'm one of the leader or part of the leadership group here at the Grounded Man, and I'm joined by none other than the main man himself, Brain. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Some thanks, lad. Yeah, my name's Braden. I took over the Ground Man. It was actually started by some friends of mine many years ago, but I took over it in September of 2022 and have been building this anchor in the community here in Ottawa for men and beyond online to really create a deep sense of brotherhood, support, community in a way that I needed in my own life. And so it's been of service to myself and continues to be of service for many men out there. So yeah, excited to share more and give more inside perspective as to what we're working on and what's going on here at the Grounded Man.
Love it, love it. So with May here, I mean, Brain, do you mind taking us through kind of what do we have going on? Because there's a lot of stuff, both online, in-person activities. Like there's a whole bunch coming up here in the next, not just May, but I guess the next couple of months. So do you mind taking us through a little bit of what's coming on?
Yeah, so May is Financial Health Month. So each month here at the Grounded Man, we cover one of our six pillars of self-leadership. Each month, we start with physical health, go on to mental health, emotional health, relationships. This month, May, is all about financial health, and then we finish off our 6 months and six pillars with spiritual health. So all about finances this month, which really, Vlad, you are kind of the lead on that in our group. But we've got some amazing things happening. You know, we just had Vlad speak and hold our in-person event last week and brought the guys through a pretty powerful exercise on abundance mindset and expanding that beyond finances and what that really means. So that was amazing. In 2 weeks at our open house, we open up our doors for our in-person membership here in Ottawa to the public so that guys who are curious can come and check it out for a day, for a night and see what we're building here and what this is all about. And so this month we've got a special guest coming in. He works in the world of finance, has a ton of great experience on all the day-to-day finance management that we experience as men and as humans. And he's also got a good background in leadership and fitness industry. And so he really ties together a lot of the aspects that are important to us at the Grounded Man. So that's an exciting open house that we have happening and a guest teacher coming in. Um, what else do we have going on this month? We're doing a team gentlemen's night. So we're getting together on a Saturday. This is just something for fun to create a gentlemen's night where we're gonna play some poker, have a potluck dinner, barbecue, just a really great evening of guys coming together outside of the work that we do in here and just yeah, again, building real community for us to continue to nurture relationships with men. So that's happening this month. And we also have a free resource that we share every month. So we create free resources for each of the six pillars. And so we've got one that goes all over four keys to abundance that we have available as well, that we're giving out online and in person as well.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll add, we also have where we're growing the online space here as well. So for all of our members that, whether or not you're just joining us, or if you've been here for a little while. We Our presence on YouTube and X is growing. There's lots of cool content there that's a little bit different than what you might see on your typical groups there. So that's definitely worth checking out, depending if you want smaller or larger tidbits of content. Um, you've mentioned the free resources, of course, but just a reminder to everyone, all the resources are available. All you got to do is join our group and you have access to all of them. So it's not like you just gain one every month. You've got access to everything that we've released so far. So it's really helping you grow on whatever pillar kind of speaks to you. We've also got live, well, not live events, but live circles, which maybe Brandon, do you mind explaining to us kind of what our circle structures and sharing circles kind of look like? And then we could speak to what that could look like in the online space as well, because we really want to bring that to the wider world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we had run an online space before, during the pandemic. It was important that we kept this going, so we had it online. But yeah, the focus really in the last couple of years has just been getting men together in person, and that's what we've been doing with our weekly meetings. So each week we come together, we do a workout, first of all, 45 minutes, move the body, lift some weights, get into that primal energy. And then, we're working out, and then we move into what we call working in. And so that's 2 hours of our weekly council session. And this is I've been part of men's groups and men's circles for a number of years now and seen a lot of different styles. And the way I like to work things and that we like to work things is weaving a style between the talking circle and the sharing where guys can come in and share about what's going on in their life and then personal issues or celebrations or wins, really just whatever needs to be expressed. We give that opportunity on a regular biweekly basis. And then on opposing weeks, we have what we call our building the quiver sessions. So uh, think of adding arrows to the metaphorical quiver that you have to draw from when you go out in the world. So this is very much tool experience workshop based gathering where we're bringing in guests or guys from the community who are experts in certain areas, whatever we can work into the pillar that we're covering that month. We like to bring some really powerful learning opportunities for us all to grow and expand in these ways. So that's really what we do on the weekly basis, right? Is that combination of growth from the listening side to the proactive kind of what are we working on side. And beyond that, it's just creating this space in the community for guys to come regularly. And in my experience, like I've never left a meeting and been like, man, I wish I didn't do that. That was a
Yeah.
terrible use of my time. And
Yeah.
so that's really what it is, a place for guys to come and get nourished, go back to their lives with more energy and more support.
Yeah, and I think it's worth adding too that with the group of men that we have, you've got, you know, we've got different mixes of age and lifestyles, and just everyone's got something to bring to the table. And I think that that's a very beautiful thing because with everyone coming in with from these unique perspectives, I mean, even though you ask a question, you're going to get a whole bunch of little nuggets that you can apply, and then you and that's it really leads to that point of you show up sometimes yeah, you got to get yourself up, you got to get out there, but I think every time you leave you're like, you know what I mean, I feel recharged. And if you lean in and really ask for that support, that's the beautiful thing about this community is people are willing to give you the support, should you ask for it. So yeah, it's definitely powerful, and bringing that both in person and to the online space really will allow us to expand this community, I think, and just really help men grow. Those that are ready to take the step, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So let's shift over to Financial Health Month because that's really kind of the topic of May here. So when somebody says financial health, like what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, right away, the thoughts that come up are all around budgeting and managing debt and credit and investments. So really just like where am I in all of that is when I think of health. It's like what is my relationship like to my debt, to credit, to savings, investments, all of these kind of different categories that make up financial well-being. It's the management of all of that. That's kind of what comes up for me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I think it's really looking at, I know financial, the first thought is usually go to the money. You know what I mean? What does the bank account look like? What do the numbers look like? But I like to take it beyond that because I'm a firm believer that financial health, I mean, the dollars themselves, the currency, whatever you want it to be, it has no value unless it has a purpose to fulfill. And so for me, it's all about what is it that you want that money to become or to create or enable. Once you start asking yourself those questions, then you give it a purpose. And when money has a purpose, then it has a direction that you can kind of take it, right? So for me, financial health is knowing what it is that aligns to you, your values, and gives you abundance in life, and then feeding your financials and directing them in that direction to make sure that you can have more of that in your life. That way, when you're waking up, you feel full. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, my bank account's full. I mean, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? But if love and relationships and experiences are what really fills you up, I mean, that to me is financial health. The fact that you're able to do that each and every single day, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get excited about this one, but
Yeah, that's why you're our go-to for this.
yeah.
But I love that
Yeah.
and we went over this on Thursday with the guys, which was a really awesome practice. But that
hmm
piece of adding meaning to it, right? It's like
hmm
as human beings, meaning is such an important part of our existence. Like when it has meaning, it gives us, yeah, that positive momentum forward to take action. And so all of a sudden, these things that I mentioned at, which most people probably think of when they think of finances is that whole numbers and money side. And it can almost feel exhausting, draining. It's
hmm
something that we just don't want to look at. But
hmm
when it becomes like attached to this beautiful life that we're creating for ourselves, all of a sudden, like I'm excited to manage my
hmm
money, to look at
hmm
the numbers, to get dialed in on it because now it's got a direction and a purpose, like you said. And that's
Yeah,
all up here. It's all a
yeah.
mindset.
No, 100%. And I love that you brought that up because when it comes to money, a lot of the times, you know what I mean? We don't really look at it until the paycheck comes in or we have to resolve a bill. And it's very transactional. But I think when you approach money from a relationship perspective where you put in time and energy into it, now you allow it an opportunity to be nurtured and to grow and expand. And that's where, you know what I mean? Yes, people budget, people track, people do all that stuff, but to me, all of those efforts are you building a relationship. And you got to think about it. Like, if you were to go ahead and date a person, you know what I mean? You wouldn't just say, hey, what's up? How are you doing today? And then ghost them for like a week and then say, hey, you want to hang out again? Like, it doesn't work like that, right? Any relationship needs time and effort put into it in order to allow it to grow, right? But also, it gives you an opportunity to see what's working, what isn't, pivot, adjust, right? So, for me, it's that mindset piece is really all about building the relationship that you want with your money, your wealth, whatever it is, and then making sure you put in the effort so that that can grow and become exactly what you want it to be and not just a byproduct of, the life that you're living.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I love that we build that in that way within the structure of the six pillars of moving
hmm
from relationships last month where we're thinking about our relationships and again, the default for that really comes to like a person to person relationship.
hmm
But we start to unpack this idea that we're in relation with everything, with our environment, with ourselves, with the layers of ourselves, how we eat, how we sleep, all of these aspects and then money and finance, which is so huge for men to have as a domain that they feel empowered in.
hmm
And so to have that brought in, just like you said, as a relationship, I mean, that's been transformative for me because it becomes a living, breathing entity. And, I love the comparison that you did last week with the garden, but it's the
hmm
same, like you mentioned, a girlfriend, like any relationship
hmm
in order to cultivate this sense of abundance, like we need to pour energy in and receive, and it becomes this cycle that we create, which is a powerful cycle to be in when it comes to finances. It's like, oh man, it's exciting all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the fact that the more you pour into it, right? And as soon as you can achieve what I call that balance or equilibrium, the beautiful thing is your inputs are matched by the outputs. And then when you achieve a state like that, I mean, that's that cruise control state. That's that, sit back, relax, and you don't have to worry and stress about it, right? Because it's taking care of itself. And as long as you give it that time and energy, it'll give you back the same. So you're not worrying about, operating out of a space where I'm lacking, I need, it's no, 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 no. Everything is balanced, right? But it's getting to that I think a lot of people just and it's unfortunate, right? Even in the world that we live, is we're not taught this stuff. It's very transactional the way it's approached to us, and it doesn't have to be. It
Mm,
really doesn't have to be. I think if you nurture it and build a relationship, it has the power to open up more time for you, which ultimately can allow you to do the things that you want with this life instead of just living it paycheck to paycheck, right?
mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love, one of the books that was powerful for me, The Energy of Money,
Mm,
and it ties so well into this of that relationship piece. And, a big one for me was noticing, bringing awareness to my state while having transactions. So like
hmm
while receiving money or while spending money, I'm at the gas pump. Like, is it a transaction where I'm going in, yeah, feeling that lack mindset, being like, oh, price is 153 today. Oh, I'm only gonna put like $20 in, but oh, that's not enough gas. Like it's this whole
hmm
anxiousness, needy energy that you're bringing into this process versus that same process could be a opportunity of gratitude, of just
Yep.
like, wow, this is amazing that I can pump gas from a ground beneath me that gets brought in from,
hmm
like it's the process behind that is insane when you
hmm
just zoom out a little bit and
hmm
be like, what a blessing it is that I get to put any amount of gas in my car.
100%. Yeah. 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 We live in a world where, I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff we take for granted. You know what I mean? Even opening your tap and water comes out, or you flick a switch and a light comes on. Like the process behind that is incredible that we're enabled to do that. But I think just like everything is making sure that you know what you want to get to. Like I'm just thinking it's while you were talking, it got me thinking, like even our gentleman's night, where we're doing a $33 buy-in for the evening, you know what I mean, to enjoy it. And I mean, you could wait till the last minute and then it's 33 bucks, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that's quite a bit. Or you could set aside $1.50 a day, you know what I mean? And what's $1.50 a day? You know what I mean? You get there, bang, there's your 33. You've planned for it, you've nurtured it, you put time and effort, boom, you enjoy your evening. It's stress-free versus now I got to take out 33, right? So it's just those little steps of knowing where you want to get to and then taking that little bit of time, a little bit of energy to avoid having to deal with stress and worry and all that stuff in the future because you put it off, right?
Yeah.
So,
And that's the piece
yeah.
I say to most guys, any guy listening to this, as the first piece of advice
hmm
that I can give myself and that I can give others is like, we all have one action that we know we need to be doing. There's something. And when it
hmm
comes to finances, I guarantee there's one action that you need to be doing. And so start now. That's the thing. Stop
hmm
putting it off till tomorrow. Stop making excuses of why today is not the day. And look at why you're doing that, why you're avoiding. That's why it's a great thing to have a group of men around you because you
hmm
come and share these stories and great, take action, do that thing. Yes, that's what I support you in. And I'm gonna start poking you at like, hey, but what's going on here? Like, how can we shift this so that in the future you aren't procrastinating on your life?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it segues really nicely into um yeah, no, well, first, I agree with the idea of like take action. You know what I mean? I mean, we could sit here for another hour, you know what I mean, going through things that you could do and stuff, but I think a lot of men know what it is,
Mm,
whether that's educating yourself, whether that's, paying this off or getting rid of this or like I think most men know where they need to take action. It's the taking action part,
yeah,
right? And I think that's actually where our resource for this month is actually huge on that because it
yeah.
plays and explains what does time mean to you? What is abundance to you? Um, did you have anything you wanted to share on that?
Well, that I think it does bring perfectly what you said, where we're adding at the beginning of all of this, we're showing you how to add meaning
Hmm.
to something that is normally like a dull and complex subject that we've
Hmm.
been conditioned to feel that way. And
Hmm.
so it's this free resource that Vlad and I created is exactly that. So like, how can we peel back the layers? Imagine, and I did this exercise, I think it was like Warren Buffett's top 20 list or something. He
Hmm.
asked one of the guys working for him
Hmm.
he's like, is this what you want to do? Be an assistant forever, like for the rest of your life? And the guy was like, yeah, it actually is. And he's like, okay, I want you to write down 25 things that you want to do before you die. And
Hmm.
then go back, read that list and circle the five things that are the most important to you, and then forget the other 20 and get those five things done, you know?
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
kind of what we tie in is that piece of like, hey, let's look at your life and imagine, this was your last day on Earth.
Hmm.
What would you do differently?
Hmm.
And like going through that process is a powerful exercise in itself. And then to get to the end and be like, now, what if you get a little more time?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
putting something together where we give you some prompts and some good indication of like the time and space you can create to dive a little deeper into this and write it down and start to build that relationship with money in a deeper, more meaningful way. Yeah, it's a great little resource that you can get. We'll put a link up in the video here where you can
Hmm.
access it, and we'll also put a link for our Discord channel because that's a free space that we have available for men from anywhere. It's online, Discord app if you're not familiar with it, but a great community hub that we have with over 100 guys in there, and you'll get access to all the free resources in there beyond Financial Health Month. So also the support of over 100 men right now and growing, helping each other to learn and grow and shoot the shit and have some laughs in there too.
Yeah, yeah, and then I think the only thing I'll add in closing is, I mean, it's okay to be uncertain. It's okay to be scared. But the gold that can be given to you when you lean into a brotherhood like this, and just having resources to just guys to talk to, you know what I mean? Like I find a lot of times for men, it's a space where you know what I mean? They kind of feel like they're taking on the world alone. You don't have to. You know what I mean? It's there. And whether you need support in financials or relationships or whatever it might be, as a man, there is a group of 100 plus brothers here available to help you, right? So I would invite anybody to at least check it out because hey, it's free. Like guys, it's literally there. It's free and we're giving away stuff for you, right? So lean in, check it out. And you never know truly how powerful it could be until you do so. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's something the real intention of starting to engage more in this video style of doing some
Hmm.
lives and putting ourselves out a little more and creating content together
Hmm.
is so that guys can really see what's going on behind the scenes a little
Yeah.
more here because I think there's a lot of story around what it means to like be part of a brotherhood or like
Hmm.
join a men's group and
Hmm.
even sometimes I get it's kind of cheesy like yeah brothers like all the language that's in here, but there's also something very powerful in it. And yeah, you don't know. We create stories, oh, therapy, or oh, I have to come in and reveal everything, and it's so difficult to take those first steps. Again, we come back
Hmm.
to that, but this is just one method that men have used throughout history. Gathering around the fire and decompressing, talking about
Hmm.
their day, their experience, celebrating their hunt or their what missions they've accomplished today and also just, telling stories and relaxing and having some laughs together. So it's not always this like work, work, work thing. It's like we're just learning how to be good men together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a powerful space. I mean, we can keep saying that as much as we want, but you won't know until you join. But I can promise you that, I mean, I don't know a single man that's come joined that said, "Ah, shouldn't have done this." You know what I mean? Like everyone's gotten something out of it. It seems to be powerful, and wherever you are in your journey, there is no such thing as should I start now? Should I start later? as I said, we've got guys, all sorts of different backgrounds, all sorts of different age groups, all sorts of different lifestyles, and everybody's able to find something once they lean in. So
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for creating this first space for us, Vlad, and I'm excited to do more of these with you.
awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we look forward to catching you on the next one.